Welcome back. It's 6:44 a.m. We're continuing our series Sacred Spaces, taking a look at the deep history of some sanctuaries across central Georgia. This morning, Suzanne Lawler brings you the story of Poplar Springs North Baptist Church in Dublin. They're about to celebrate their 215th anniversary, and they've documented all of the highlights through time.
But our main mission is to reach the lost, because there are a lot of people that's in this county that's unchurched.
Sonny Hogan's roots run deep in the Poplar Springs North Baptist Church history books.
I was baptized down there in the old spring. We could only baptize during the summer because of the coldness of the water.
His parents brought him to this building on Highway 338 as a tiny tot. They're now buried in the cemetery out back. A generation before, his grandmother taught piano lessons in this place of faith that also served as a school.
It was established as a Baptist church and still a Baptist church, which is most amazing.
And some of the first pastors of this church were soldiers in the Revolutionary War.
Reverend Wes Pinkley is a history buff, so to preach in a church that dates back to 1807 is a treat. On August 1st of that year, a little more than a dozen men and women came together.
And so they gathered together and they said, we're going to have a church. And so this church was actually older than the county. We're now a Southern Baptist church, but we're well older than the Southern Baptist Convention.
Many older churches don't have records that date back to their origination, much less the minutes that span a couple of hundred years. But Poplar Springs North has it all written down in a thick book.
And it looks like the thickness of an old Sears Christmas catalog. There's about 200 pages in there, and every page is a delight to read. But when they had a school, they also had a factory so that the students could work to earn their education. This is the original Sunday school bell that they would use for many years before they had electric buzzers.
As they get ready to celebrate their 215th anniversary, folks can walk in and see birthday swag from the past, old pictures and artifacts, and all of that's pretty cool. But both men say it's the people that persevered through the years to keep it going, to preserve the grounds and embrace their history.
When it says in the scriptures, they will know you are Christians by your love. And I think that really plays out here.
Pinkley proposes that the souls that found their resting place on church grounds would be proud of what has lasted through time.
So that they would see what's carrying on and the heart with which, and they would say their efforts were not in vain.
Suzanne Lawler, 13 WMAZ News.
That's an absolutely beautiful sanctuary and a beautiful story. I'd love to hear that. Now you're invited to the church's 215th anniversary service. It's Sunday, August the 7th. Reverend Wes Pinkley, who you just saw, says they will have a big meal after the homecoming worship service.